Hello everyone, hope you're doing amazing. In this video we will be going over your equipment that you should be focusing on until KVK 1. First of all, we're closing in on 300 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please subscribe, it means a lot. So the first set that you can do if you are pushing Canyon, or if you have a Civil War, just to get some easy stats in the beginning, is just these green sets. They are really cheap and they will get you pretty good stats. And I'm guessing that you can crit these as they are pretty common, these blueprints. So I will put in that they are critted to your infantry. This will gain you 13% attack, 18.5% defense and 8% health. But if you ain't pushing Canyon, or if you get luck on your blueprints and you can craft your blueprints, you can go two ways. Either you go for your march speed for KVK, or you go for more stats. Personally, I would suggest you go for more speed, as infantry is pretty slow, and if you're slow on the battlefield, it would take longer for you to reach the fight, which will get you less kill points. Same if your ball dies and you need to run, and you're much slow, the people will catch up and just kill your march. So, to get the absolute most mouse speed for your infantry, you have the windswept gear. This will gain you an extra 20% march speed, and you will gain 8% attack, 9.5% defense, and 3.5% health. Now, what you can add to your weapon and pants is of course a shield. It gives you 8% health, and it's a really good one. You will have this until pretty much your last piece. And then you have the blue pants with a combine of 16% attack, 9.5% defense, 14% health, and you will gain 20% march speed. And if you want even more march speed, you can grab the flag. It gives an extra 5%, and your march will be really quick. This is a set that I would suggest to go for, as like I said before, the march speed is really important in this game. There is another set you can go for, where you grab your windswept helmet, you have your windswept breastplate, then on your gloves you do Kelvin's hand. You of course have your shield and you have the same pants, but on your boots you do Scarlet Hounds. And you should be able to crit all these until KVK 1. And I suggest you do a flag on as well. So the difference on these is that you will have 5.5 more attack and 3.5 more health. But the problem with this is that you are missing out on 12% march speed, which is a lot. These two sets were completely fine for KVK 1 if you can only get these. And then you grab a Sun Tzu and Eiffel as your primary march. This works completely fine. I am suggesting the windswept. I will go with that and I will show you how to upgrade from it. In the perfect world where we can choose our blueprints, you want to change your pants to a Carvax Humility. As you can see, it gives 8% health instead of 6% attack. When health is always good, your march survives longer and you can grab more kill points. So now you lose 8% attack, but you gain 8% health, which is always better in infantry. So, where do you go from here? Then you want to switch out your gauntlets and your boots. You want to go with the sets brutality for 5.5 infantry defense, and you want to go for your frost threads for 5.5 defense. What you will do here is that you will lose 3.5% health, but you will gain the double, a little bit more than double in defense. Now you have two choices. Either you go down the normal blueprint route, or you go down the KVK weapon and helmet route. If you're going down the normal route, you will have a full legendary equipment before KVK 4, but if you're saving and you want to craft the KVK helmet and weapon, you will most certainly stick with the shield, and you can, possibly craft this. I wouldn't suggest it, but you do you. I will personally go down with the normal equipment, and so I can just gain more kill points during my time playing until KVK 4. So, for your chest, this is one of the first blueprints you want to craft, and if they haven't changed this, you get this at the second battle pass thing you get in your trading station, the Hope Cloak with 10% defense. This is a really good piece, and it should be the first one you craft. And just from that, we have lost 2% attack, and I guess you can see at this point, Infantry does not have that much attack in their gear. They mostly have defense. So you gain an extra 6% defense. The next one you want to craft is the helmet of the Eternal Empire. So you can later grab a set bonus. And that will give us 12% defense. So we have gained from this old gear set we have to our new one, we are now up 17% in our defense. We have lost all the attack and mostly march speed. Unfortunately, that's what you do, but you will get your march speed back in research. This is a set that you should be able to get before KVK 1 if you ain't spreading your resources too thin and you're saving your gems for equipment events and not wasting them somewhere else. If you are saving some more gems, or if you're spending, you can probably get a pretty good set. I think almost full legendary by KVK 1. So next one, we are grabbing another Eternal Empire, and for our boots we grabbing another Eternal Empire. This will give us a 2-piece set bonus for an extra 3% defense. And with this we have gained another 7% defense. As you can see here, we have 41% defense and 18% health. And of course the last thing you do is that you add your Eternal Knight and you add your shield. This shield is another of Eternal Empire, which will grant you the 4% piece bonus for an extra 10% march speed. But this is the infantry, and let's go over to Cav. Here you have the first Cav set that you should be focusing on. You have the Expedition War Helmet, you have the Plate Armor, you have the Vanguard, and you have the Greaves and the 2 Windswept pieces. Cav don't need movement speed, they are fast because they are on horses. So if your Cav are too fast and you are running more than one march, they will jump into the enemy ball and get obliterated, and you will get negative trades. So you want as little movement speed bonus on your Cavs as possible. As you can see here, we're gaining a 9.5% attack, 20% defense and 14% health. It's this. You change out your plate for the Dark Lord's Blessing. This will grab you another 2.5% defense, and I think it's a pretty common blueprint to get. So after you have crafted your Lord's Blessing, you will change out your pants for the Gladiator pants, and you will change out the Vanguard for the Heart of the Saint. This you will lose 4.5% attack, you will gain 6.5 defense and 1% health. So the next thing you should be focusing on in your gauntlets and boots. You should be crafting your Never Control and the Hellish Wasteland to get you an extra 8.5% health. As you can see, now when we start to craft the legendary pieces, our health stats will go up a lot. What you should be working on next is your pants for 12% health. And then you want to do your Wasteland chestplate. This will grab you a 2 set bonus for an extra 3% health. As you can see now, we're losing our defense 8%, but we're gaining 18% health. So if you ain't saving for a KVK weapons, you go with another wasteland helmet, and then you will go for the lance wasteland again, because we want our set bonus. So we gain a 20% attack, lose 18% defense, gaining 18% health, and we're also gaining counter damage 3% because we now have 4 pieces of wasteland. Now let's go for archers. So for your early game archer gear, this is what it should look like. You want the green helmet, the blue chestplate, the blue weapon, the blue pants. As you can see, there are no other pants for archers. You do the green gauntlet and the green boots. This will grab you 11.5% health, 24% defense and 3.5% attack. The thing you want to first, it's the flame threads. These are the boots. The epic boots gives you 5.5% health. You want to craft the helmet for 7.5% defense and the gloves for 4.5% attack. This will grab you an extra 7.5% attack and 2% defense. You will lose 3.5% archer health. And as these two are a set, the rival set, you will grab an extra 3% troop attack. So after you have done those, then you want to complete the epics. This will grab you an extra 7.5% attack and a 5% defense, and you will lose health. So as you see, on archers you have like no health, and on cav you have a lot of health. We gain an extra 3% troop defense. Now on archers you can go two ways. Either you going down the Dragon Breath route, or you crafting the Milky Way and the Eon Choice. The Dragon Breath route is if you are going to craft all the Dragon Breath pieces, so you get all the piece bonuses. The other set, you can go Dragon Breath, but in here you get more stats, and you will go with the leadership pants, and you will go with the leadership boots. In this video I will be going down the Dragon Breath route, as that is the way I will go in my account. From here you want to focus the Dragon Breath so you get more stat bonus. So we're going with the pants and we're going with the boots. So now we have gained 8% attack, and we're losing health again of course, but we have gained 3% skill damage as we have now our 4 pieces. And then lastly you do the Dragon Breath bow and you do the Dragon Breath helmet to complete the 6th set. And that will get you an extra 5% health and 11% attack. So as you can see on archers you have a lot of attack and defense. So that's it. These sets are still meta in KVK 4. Like I said, you either have these or you're using the KVK weapons. The KVK weapons are really expensive to make, and you gain some stats. And remember, it's better to have one really good march than 2-3 bad ones. So put all on your materials into one march so you can have a good one and get a lot of kill points this KVK. So thank you all for watching, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.